All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to you all for coming in now. I know there's other podcasters on. Shout out to Jay Bar. I think they're still going strong over there. And if they are, shout out to them. Make sure you listen to them. Go finish that out. And like I said, I won't be here super long. Gonna touch on some things. Let some information out into the wild, so to speak. And then mostly concentrate on this stuff on Saturday. I want to give a big shout out to all the new subs. We are closing in on 2,000, and I never thought I'd see that happen. And just want to really thank you guys for that. You guys are just fantastic, and just more subs, the merrier. Again, I've told this story before. I'll tell it again for all you new subs. The goal of my channel was to get 50 people. So modest goal. I literally was going to talk a little bit about some technology, some gaming, and UFOs and stuff like that. That's what my goal was. And if I get 25 people to listen to me, then maybe 50 people, I'd be on cloud nine. And I still remember coming home, and my first podcast I think I ever did, I think I remember it got I remember coming home and they had like 44 people had viewed it. I thought, man, this is, I can't believe it. So, but I just appreciate you guys and gals. I know there's females that listen too. So, so shout out to everybody that has come through, and we have a bunch of new subs. So, shout out to Malice Flair, Arc War Angel. Shout out to you guys. Soldier for Life, the way he spelled it, Soldier for Life. He or she, I'll put it like that. But yeah, appreciate everybody. Just wanted to let you know it's not unnoticed. So yeah, so it's very humbling. It's very humbling. So I do appreciate you all. So, but I wanted to kick off the podcast. I know everybody's talking about the showcase. First things first, I know last time I talked to you guys, there was no showcase that had been announced. And then I got some information that said, hey, keep an eye out on the 18th, make an announcement by the 18th. So if you follow me on Twitter, and you should be, I put out some stuff like, hey, the 18th could be a very good day for some people. And boom, we got the announcement on the 17th. So shout out to B Money. I don't know if you all follow B Money, but he came on Brap yesterday, and B Money predicted this like 2-3 weeks ago. He was talking about we were going to get an announcement after Mother's Day, and sure enough, we did. So shout out to him. And I know Jeff Grubb, all the people that got this right. You could feel it in the air, though. Feel it in your gut. Shout out to Garrus Vakarian from Mass Effect. You can feel it in your gut. So, but Sony showcase again very quickly. We'll get to that. That thing is looking like they are going for the kill based on the information that I got. Based on this thing they got with Rockstar Games. They've got with Capcom. I'm sure you all saw, and I left a link in the description. I'm sure you all saw the Mortal Kombat stuff. They have the marketing deal for that. So again, they went back to part 1 apparently with this one. So, and I'll probably end up buying that game because I'm a bigger fan of part 1. 1 and 2 are my favorite Mortal Kombat games. So again, these were back when you stood up in the arcade, you plunked in a couple quarters and you played. So, but yeah, we can talk about that a little bit. This article got sent to me from IGN. You all know I don't use IGN, but I want you all's opinion on, do you feel like, and this is not a bash section of Xbox, do you all feel like, and this is an opinion piece by IGN, let me make that clear. This is their opinion. It's just an opinion piece, but this is a good read. I left a link in the description. It says Starfield feels like Xbox's last chance at redemption. So, I mean, I just think this article pretty much points out there's so much disappointment with Redfall and things like that, that they being the Xbox community, they just don't have anything meaty. And here Sony is. The scary thing about the Sony showcase is that they're going ahead of Microsoft. Why do I say that? Sony always goes behind Microsoft. But they're pretty much man, I'll talk about it here shortly. If they're doing what I think they're doing, it's going to be man, that's all I can say. That's all I can say. So, but we have a few things to talk about, including the showcase. So you can throw your showcase questions at me. I'll go ahead and answer them the best I can. I really hope you don't ask a ton of questions because I want you all to be surprised. I mean, so I have a Q&A up there, which is, are you excited for the Sony showcase? I mean, you can answer that if you want, and just tell me what you think. Or, what do you think about the showcase? Are you really excited about it? Jim Ryan has allegedly said to people that they gonna pretty much show no mercy, and that you're gonna get a lot of stuff announced. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of happy people. A lot of people are gonna get exactly what they've been asking for, and so. But I really hope those people are excited about it. I'm excited for the VR stuff. This to me is the baby kind of crawled with the VR announcement and the VR coming out. Now the baby's starting to walk. I think we're going to get some huge VR announcements. You're going to get your smaller announcements too, but I really think the big deal about the showcase is that it's a PS5 showcase. So tell me, what do you all think about that? Sony's moving on. They supported PlayStation 4 for damn near 3 years. They're moving off of that. They're moving into the next thing again. So same with PSVR, like I was talking about. But what do y'all think about Starfield? Do you all believe that Starfield is like Microsoft's last chance of redemption? Because I don't. I mean, I think the Hellblade game, Forza, those games are strong. We know Hellblade's a good IP. We know that. The Forza series, while not as good as the Gran Turismo series, it's still a good racing game. I've always said I thought it was better than Project Cars, and they're bringing some stuff in from Project Cars, so which is good. That's a good thing, right? It's making it more of a sim instead of it's a sim, but it's kind of like a baby sim. That feels like it's going to be a more of a sim game. So so looking forward to that. You know, how many of you all in the Xbox community are looking forward to playing that game? That game looks really good. I mean, and I'm not sure the way to drive, but it sounds like they're putting more emphasis on having clean driving in the cars this year. So we'll have to wait and see how that turns out. And that's a big deal with Gran Turismo. They want a clean race, putting that in air quotes. So I will give you my opinion about this IGN article. It first things first, like I said, it's an opinion article. What's up, Sam Odyssey? So there's nothing to argue when it comes to me. I turned on my Xbox and within 15 minutes understood what Microsoft was doing. Like I said before, in order for me to start my Xbox up, I had to download a damn app. I've never seen anything like that before. I mean, maybe you do that with the Nintendo Switch, because I don't know. But I know I didn't have to do that with my PlayStation. My PlayStation came with a USB-C charging cable. It came with a HDMI 2 cable. It came with a power cable. I plugged it in. I turned it on. Once I got, registered, you go through the rigmarole of setting it up for the internet and stuff like that, which is something that you have to do. It was just ready to go. Xbox, I mean, it needed a friggin' app. Like on your phone or tablet. It was like, download this app to start setting up your Xbox. Again, why can't I've never done that before with an Xbox. Never. And so, but that told me as a consumer that the Xbox was fundamentally different than the PlayStation. Again, not in a bad way. It's just different. I don't know what else to say to people about it. They both play video games. That's about it. And as I told you before, the Xbox, in order for me to play The Division Part 1 and 2, let's say I wanted to get online, put on a headset. In order for me to do that on the Xbox, my understanding of it is I have to get Ubisoft Plus or whatever it's called. That's like $18. And where on the PlayStation, I can just download it right now. Just download it right now, if I wanted to play it. So which I think I can get like the level 10 or 11 and not need no help. But after that, I'm gonna have to need some help. Somebody's gonna have to come help. So yeah, but I like those type of games. The game looks gorgeous. I'm not here to say the game's bad. Now, and I've said this again, what did Xbox do well? Well, they did exactly what they said they were going to do. The backwards compatibility on the Xbox, on my TV, those games look stunning. I mean, they look really good. But it's a legitimate question. Why would you pay $500,000 to play a bunch of old games? And the truth is that that's a legitimate question. So again, as a consumer, and I saw a Google Hangout. It was like, are you a consumer or are you a gamer first? I can only speak for myself on this. I'm a consumer first. So with my podcast, and this is for the new and older subs, and most of you older subs know this, I am always going to look at something from the consumer side first. And then I'll get to the gaming side second. So if that's the way you are, you found the right podcast. Let me make that clear. You found the right podcast. If you're looking for a versus and this is going to be better and all that kind of stuff, no, I already know that. I mean, you already know that. You can go to your girlfriend's house, your aunt's house. Your aunt's food, not as good as your mama's, and she's your aunt. Okay? Your uncle, as good as he is on the grill, he don't cook those burgers like your father. So you should know that. You should know what's going to happen and things like that. But I really just want you all's opinion as consumers and gamers, because if Starfield comes out the gate, And I'm gonna play it. Why? Because I play games like Starfield. I like Elite Dangerous, games like that. I like those type of games. But if I will, and I will let you know honestly, is this a good game or not? I'm not gonna sit up here and be like and trash the game. Why? Because I like Skyrim, and I did. I loved Oblivion. I like Skyrim a little bit more. It puts me in a minority because these guys, we get they on Discord, they be going back and forth like, damn, they're both Bethesda games. But I got people saying what's going to be buggy stuff. Like, look, if it's buggy, I'll let you know. If it has crappy controls, I'll let you know. Like, these controls aren't tight at all, So, and the ship flying the ship feels like crap. Somebody who plays a sim, I know what I want my ship to feel like when I'm flying it. It shouldn't behave like it is in space when I'm in atmosphere. It should fundamentally act differently. If I'm able to do same stuff in space that I can do in Atmo, I'll be like, okay, this ain't good. The ship should fundamentally act different in Atmo. So in space, there's no gimbal, so you have 6 to 8 point axes in space. So, but with that said, what is your opinion? It feels like, to me, it feels like the guys that have turned their Xboxes in are the guys who actually believe that Xbox was going to be competing with Sony game for game, tit for tat. And when Phil Spencer did his interview, he really, he really ended all that notion. Also, shout out to Reforged Gaming. When he said something very matter of fact, and I think even Doc Dark, shout out to Doc Dark, said something similar, which is, if you bought an Xbox and you bought a Series X, you're not the premium, you're not the customer that they're really going for, mainly because the Series S has outsold the Series X. So they're being catered to. And again, I thought Series S, I sat here in this raggedy cyberpunk chair, and I was like, look, if Series S concentrates on 1440p, 60 with HDR, they don't have to do ray tracing. If they concentrate on those things and they sell it for like $399 or something like that, or $290 or whatever, whatever, okay? $349, $329. I'm like, I'll buy that. I will buy that. But they didn't do that. So I didn't buy an S. It was one sitting there. But my little gift card, I had some nibble on it, so I did it. So we did it. And so again, I don't have a problem with it because I know I read the why I kept it, because I didn't listen to Dealer Gaming, I didn't listen to D-Bash, I didn't listen to Colt Eastwood, I sure as hell didn't listen to Tim Dog. Why? Because they're not developers. When you look back and you see what the developers said about the Xbox is doing exactly what these developers said. That's it. That's who I listen to. So when they were saying about this, it's about the tools, I already knew it wasn't about the tools. Okay, I already knew it. I already knew it wasn't about their dev kits. It was about the RAM. It was about how the PS5 is overclocked and has a much better balanced console. Again, it's just a better balanced console than the Xbox is. And the Xbox is perfect if you want to play a bunch of old games. I'm not making that up. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and I haven't even played Quantum Break yet. I can't get my eyes off Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Origins, which look gorgeous, at least on my TV. And again, I understand I'm in the top % of people when it comes to gaming. I have a gaming PC that I'm going to be upgrading. You all saw I got that new CPU. I've got a PlayStation 5. Shout out to the community. And I've got an Xbox Series X. So, and I have an I have an OLED TV. Doesn't matter what kind, right? That puts me, it does VRR and HDR and SDR, Dolby Vision. Again, the Xbox automatically detects Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos sound. It just detects it and it goes into my TV, converts it, right? So again, something that they said they were going to be able to do. But a lot of people, you need to understand, they don't have that. They still have 60 hertz TVs, and eventually I am going to be moving off of the 60 hertz TVs because I don't have one. My TV does 60 hertz, of course, but within the gaming realm, it's, you know, you guys eventually. This is why I went to the store the other day. I'm like, okay, these new TVs are out that came out at CES. Even the ones, you know, Sony skipped CES, but their new TVs are in, and they are stunning. Like I just, like I said, it blew me away when I was looking at that new Samsung S95 C, I think. I literally had to take 2 steps back to believe what I was looking at. So, but so yeah, and these TVs are expensive. You got to pay the cost to be the boss. But back to the gaming. Do you all feel that Starfield is Xbox's last chance? Again, I don't agree with this opinion. I'm not lambast. I totally understand if you have a Series X and you're disappointed and you're like, the heck with it. They were GameStop by me. If you were something called a member, I don't know what that is. They were given $380 to $392 in-store credit for towards a PlayStation 5. I don't know how that works. I don't know how that works, but they sold out of PS5s. So at least where I live at, this is not every GameStop in my city, but the one close to me sold out. So, and because of the trade-in thing. So, but I don't feel like Starfield is, but I do know, let's just be honest. We know it looks like a No Man's Sky Mass Effect Andromeda clone, which isn't bad. Okay. And we also know it's a smaller game than No Man's Sky. We know they're using procedural generation, which people mocked with Hello Games, a small indie studio's doing that. You know, well, how come they can't do regular, blah, blah, and now here's Starfield, a big AAA game, Bethesda doing the same thing. So a lot of this stuff, the back and forth, has to do with what a lot of Xbox guys said, and a lot of it is chickens coming home to roost. So what's up, X-Hawk? How you doing? Mike Johnson, what's happening, brother? What's happening? So he said Xbox is trash. Okay. Again, if you look at it from what these fanboys told you it was going to be, I agree 100%. But if you actually do your own research, it's like, okay, this thing is doing exactly what the developers and engineers said it was going to do. So it's just not as balanced a console as the PlayStation 5. It's not. That doesn't mean it's a horrible console, however. It's just not as well balanced. It's like I said before, if you get a PC and your PC's got a Ryzen 5600X in it, but then you've got a friggin' 980 in it, 980 Ti, well, your games aren't going to run well. Why? Because you're going to bottleneck your GPU. That's just the reality of the situation. Somebody's knocking on the door, huh? Thanks. Yeah, he can up with Davis. Yeah, he's tough. Yeah, good for him. It's all right. Well, all right. So, what do you all think about that? I wanted to cover this because everybody's only talking about the showcase. There's other news out there. So, and we'll go to the next set of news. And of course, I'm sure you all heard about the PS5, more talk. And yes, Rockstar Games did say that Xbox could do a mid-gen refresh as well. Again, I have not heard anything about that. And let me make this clear. So I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, they're not doing it. They're not doing it. You know, but I haven't heard anything about it. So that's all. And all I can do is tell you what I've been told. I'm not going to sit up there and say that they are not doing it. I know Sony is doing it. You know, now whether it's going to be a Pro or the next PlayStation, kind of on the fence with that. I understand that, but no, they're going to have a console that's going to be a monster. Like I put some specs that I have been told that they're working with 14 teraflops, extremely fast CPU. This once again will be overclocked, you know, a faster SSD, and you know, yeah, a faster SSD. Go figure. Almost damn near double the speed of this one. So, and so it's they gonna, man, like one I think 1 to 1.5 terabytes of storage, which is fine because my PlayStation, it had a red dot next to one of the games and it wouldn't load. I'm like, why you not load? Like, why you not load? So, and so we're gonna go. We'll find out though. We'll find out a little bit more as we roll down. So as we roll on out, and remember what that SSD does is it helps eliminate calls, and so it helps eliminate some of the calls and gets, you know, blah blah blah. You can watch Mark Cerny's thing, but you know, we're not here to talk about the Pro. I'm just here kind of, you know, whipping it out and putting it on the table. I talked about this weeks ago. Shout out to me. And weeks, well, maybe months ago, people are like, "Ah, they ain't gonna do it. We don't need it." Oh, it doesn't matter what you need. You're gonna get it, right? So you don't need it, you know, but you gonna get it. You know, like valet parking at Jeff Ruby's. You know, you don't need valet parking, but man, you gonna get it. So you know, what PS5 deck kit was 13. It actually it was higher than that. So yeah, you know, well they're just no, they need more than 11.6 teraflops to do ray tracing at 60. They just do because they need more cores. So they're gonna have dedicated ray tracing cores, but that's not why we're here. So that's not why we're here. We're here to talk about. I know what you all want to talk about. So still no questions in there about the showcase, but ultimately I've heard some just more fanboy chatter. I swear to God, I mean, some of these guys need to be shot in their own kitchens. I mean, but all right, so Sony showcase is going to be a juggernaut showcase. I understand you want to manage expectations, but you can actually get excited for this one. Jim Ryan and a lot of the PlayStation brass are not happy with Microsoft going after Activision, and which is true. That's not that's not gossip. They really don't like what Microsoft is doing, and they're gonna send such a message to everybody that, you know, if you're gonna mess with Microsoft, you're gonna F around and find out. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's gonna be nasty what they do to Microsoft. Just So people have asked me about the whole Grand Theft Auto thing. Okay, here's what I was told that Sony did. Sony took a PS5 dev kit to Rockstar Games, and they helped build a demo of Grand Theft Auto 6, or whatever you want to call the next Grand Theft Auto game. And they sat there with Rockstar's devs and engineers and said, if you spec your game specifically for our console, here's what it's going to run like. And it apparently floored some of the engineers at Rockstar Games. So they could develop GTA 6 specifically on that type of architecture. Because what's starting to happen is a lot of these developers, they're seeing Microsoft struggle with sales, and Sony is out here pretty much saying, if you want to roll with us, you're going to start speccing your games to our consoles, whatever you want to call it. You're going to code it to our consoles specs, okay? Not to the Xbox. So the games could fundamentally run differently on PlayStation than they do Xbox. Like I said, if this is true, there's going to be an effing riot. Okay, there's going to be an effing riot out there. And I ain't going to be out there in the streets. I'll be eating a McRib and with my feet up, trying to figure out Assassin's Creed Valhalla, give me $1, right? But it really, I don't see, like I said, it was big. That's why I was sitting on it so long. So it was big. That's why I sat on it. And you don't have to believe it. You can take it with a grain of salt, because I did. That's why I just didn't say nothing about it. So you are looking at something that's going to be so cruel that if they end up, and it doesn't mean Rockstar is going to do it, all right? But it does mean that what Sony is starting to do is they are really flexing their position in the market. They're bringing the entire market to bear on all developers, especially these AAA ones that are that they don't have stuff with. They had a deal. They got something major working with Warner Brothers. Major working with Warner Brothers. Again, Rockstar Games. They've got something that they're going to announce with Remedy. So it's gonna be, like I said, man. They're gonna have something for that ass on this showcase. Now, the bad news for me is that I won't be able to watch it until I get home from work. And by the time I get home from work, the showcase will be almost halfway. Will be almost over. Excuse me, burping in your ear like that. It will almost be over. So I won't get home till almost 4:45, give or take. So what I'm going to do is and this is what I'll announce now. 60 frames, no lag, is we'll go live about 8 to 8:30, and we'll simply be talking about the showcase. Now, what I am going to do is I'm going to watch the showcase probably starting at 5:30. I'll watch it all the way through. I'll take notes on it. Then I'll come on about 7:15 and just do a reaction to the show, because I won't be able to stay on 60 frames, no lag, too long. So the Red Dead ran better. Well, yeah, but that's an old game. Okay, that's an older game. So, I mean, again, they're not wrong, but come on, my friend, that's an old game, man. We're not. And again, if you're going to do a pissy match comparison, I don't see where that gets you. But that's just me asking a general stated question. So they do have a more powerful GPU, but they bottleneck their CPU. They just do, because they have a static clock. So, and Sony does not. They've got the smart shift plus the variable clock. And so they don't burn as much information out. But again, that's old news. So PlayStation actually says you don't think Xbox is done if Starfield fails, but they still got games I'm looking forward to. Yeah, I am too, PlayStation X. Yeah. I mean, again, that's my opinion. I don't think it has to be a grand slam, but it needs to be a double. They got to hit a double minimum. You know what I'm saying? So rumors are true about the PS5 Pro. Will it have a faster SSD? Yes. It will have to have one in order to maintain 60 FPS with full ray tracing at 4K. And remember, they're going to be doing 8K. Sony makes 8K TVs. Their console is being spec'd to do that. So, but let's talk about the CMA. I mean, CMA made its decision to move on from it. So, what are you saying, XL? The mid-gen Xbox Series will have a faster SSD. Yeah, their SSD will be faster too. But right now, I don't have any information on it. But yeah, the streaming the data is what the developers are starting to do, because one, it saves them RAM. It saves them more space. They don't have to put things in RAM to get it to work. They just stream it in there. So, but yeah, it'll be better. It'll be better. So, well, the PS5 Pro will have to need a faster. Yeah, they're going to need a faster SSD. Yeah, because the worlds are going to get huge, and you're going to see that coming up with some of these games Sony's going to show. Got a question here. Is Sony going to show Bloodborne 2? Yep, possibly. It's in development. Or at least they're going to show something called Bloodborne Remaster. So that's part of their deal with From Software. Remember that big capital investment they made? Let's see here. What's that question? Okay, so what games are you expecting? Okay, what games are you expecting them to show? What remakes are you expecting them to show? I expect The Last of Us Part 2 remaster for PS5 to be announced, along with something called Factions. Now, that's just what I expect. I'm not going to get mad if they don't announce it. We all know Ghost of Tsushima which will get announced. I think they'll get a PC release date on Ghost of Tsushima, and possibly one on, I'm not gonna say Ratchet and Clank, but I'm pretty bullish on Ghost of Tsushima going to PC. So but that game's gonna make a lot of money. I think Nix's will do the port. So new IP. They're gonna show that. I think we get a look at Pragmatic by Capcom. I think we get an update, a developer update on other things. You're gonna see a nice gameplay trailer of Stella Blade. Hopefully I'm saying that right. You're gonna see a nice gameplay trailer of that. Then the Xbox not gonna be left out of their show. I think Sifu, Kana, and Stray are gonna get announced for Game Pass at the Xbox. But again, those are three. If Sifu may already be on there, I don't know. I've got Game Pass. I need to look. But if it's not, those are three solid titles that they're going to get. So that's fine. So, but yeah, so they're going to, like I said, these guys have effed around and found out. And so and they're just going to go out. And of course, Spider-Man will be there. I think the voice actor who is playing Logan and Wolverine may get announced, maybe. Twisted Metal Black, because the TV show is in like a week and a half or something like that. So just it is what it is. It's really, it's gonna be a good show and a lot of VR stuff. Hopefully we see Half-Life Alyx, and I got told, and I got my fingers crossed on this one, and this is just for me specially. I got told Sony is doing something with Star Citizen, and it could be coming to PlayStation. But that's a grain of salt. That's one I've got my fingers crossed, right? So we'll see. I think we'll see Final Fantasy 16. We may get a demo out of this. We'll have to wait and see. I think we'll get a Final Fantasy 7 announcement as well. So yeah, Rockstar is never going to make a next-gen patch for Red Dead Redemption. They might. So, but yeah, this thing's going to be big, and you know, I think you have a right to be excited. It's fine. I mean, I understand that, you know, the over hyping, if you want to call it. I don't think you really can, especially when Jim Ryan came out and said they're gonna make a statement. And I look at that as somebody who has stock in Sony, like, all right, let's see what you're gonna do. You know, but make sure you vote before I turn off the Q&A right there. The Q&A question was, are you excited for the showcase? I am. You know, but I'm not overexcited. I'm glad they announced it, because Chocolate Thunder, he was looking for a cellmate. I'm like, well, it can't be me. I'm not that good looking. So, so yeah. So Jim Ryan must be crying over the EU. I mean, they haven't said anything publicly about it, but there's nothing that the EU can really do about it. And they everybody kind of played their hand when they said, well, all three of them agree that it's a threat. Microsoft getting Activision is an actual threat to emerging markets. So I don't know how that's going to sit with the FTC. Lena Khan pretty much showed her hand, like, look, you are a threat, and it's going to cause all this overregulation. We ain't doing it. Mm-hmm. So yeah. But I'm looking forward to Indiana Jones as well. Like, how is Indiana Jones going to be different than Tomb Raider? You know, so how they have to make that game different. That's going to be different from Uncharted. It's going to have to be made differently. If I see the same thing Nathan Drake and Laura Croft were doing, I'm gonna be like, hey, look, why we already have this, you know? but I'm not gonna tear it apart. Like, well, we already have this game. So, smart delivery, I do not like. But again, you need to understand that, because you see what you're doing with the Xbox, you're talking about features. You're not talking about the games. You're talking about features with them. So, and again, everybody got caught up in that VRR, which isn't that big a deal. The VRR is going to be already there. Yeah, because you all's Xbox doesn't hold frame rate as well. It doesn't. I've got one. I don't have to sit up here and watch other people on Xbox now. I can see it from my damn self. I mean, it doesn't make the game it doesn't make the game like, I can't play this game. It doesn't run as well. But no, it just means that okay, what the developers were saying was true. It's not that big a deal. But what games are you looking forward to? I mean, what if you walk out there, they walk out there, and the first thing you hear is, did you miss me? And it's Metal Gear 3. I think we're going to see some more Silent Hill 2 gameplay. And if they've got Metal Gear and Castlevania, it will be announced as well. Hardware, I'm kind of trying to wrap this up here because, like I said, my food's here. Hardware, I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of it, but we'll have to wait and see. I got told no hardware, that they're going to do a hardware showcase later this year with the earbuds. They've got new headsets to show us, which, and a new controller. We'll have to wait and see. So the list of expected games is so long for people, you can't put them all in one. Well, I don't disagree. That's why I don't think we're going to get what people are saying. I just think you're going to get a lot of haymakers thrown at this. You're going to get bombs thrown. So, because this thing is more about the shareholders and wanting to show the fan base and all that stuff where the best place to play your games is going to be. And we have deals with Rockstar Games, Warner Brothers. They're going to come out there and they're going to flex that. They're going to talk about their saturation rate, stuff like that. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll know next week. We got a week to go, right? We have a week to go. 3-4 Everlast. Well, I'm expecting to see the little game Gray Hill Incident, because I'm really looking forward to playing that. Hopefully they have that there at the showcases. So, which will be fun. It'll be fun for me. All right, guys, I'm going off here. Like I said, my food came. I didn't think it was going to here till 7:30, and it got here much earlier. But Saturday morning, we're going to talk much more about the showcase. And but I wanted to throw some more stories in there. I left a lot of links in the description for you guys to go check out. So you all have a good Friday. I know I'm going to try to have a real good Friday at work. And I will talk to you all in 48 hours.